Welcome to Heritage Auction Gallery's Rare Books Auction taking place on March 6th. We are especially pleased to present the medieval manuscript that graces the cover of our catalog. It is a superb Italian manuscript written in Latin on 316 fine vellum leaves, made in Bologna and dating to the second half of the 13th century. It is elegantly bound in 18th century French sheep with exquisite decorative gilt tooling. The manuscript is of the Decretals of Pope Gregory IX, which were completed in about 1234 AD and consist of a collection of letters containing papal rulings or edicts that carried the force of law at the time. Copies of Decretals were often required by ecclesiastical and civil authorities or for study purposes in universities, notably those specializing in law, such as the University at Bologna. The earliest Decretals were simple collections of papal letters and were often included in collections of canon law as early as the 5th century. The Decretals of Pope Gregory IX of 1234 were an important new edition of canon law, becoming its fundamental text, and as was true of other earlier Decretals, it generated a number of commentaries that are known as glosses. The gloss served to elucidate or comment on the main text of the manuscript. Our manuscript is written in dark brown ink in a neat, round Gothic bookhand, arranged in the center in 2 columns of 36 lines. Headings are in red, and running titles are in red and blue. 5 large column-width title panels forming the name Gregorii are at the book openings in typical Bolognese red and blue display lettering with red and blue penwork. 2- and 3-line chapter initials in the margins are in alternating red and blue with contrasting penwork, as are 1-line initials and occasional paragraph marks in the text. The gloss surrounding the main text is of different measures written in brown ink in a much smaller and highly abbreviated glossing script. This decretal includes as its primary gloss the last revision of Bolognese canonist Bernard of Parma, who died in 1266. This manuscript is from the Middle Hill Library of Sir Thomas Phillips, who lived from 1792 to 1872, and bears his ink-lined crest stamp. Phillips was an English antiquary and book collector who amassed the largest collection of manuscript material in the 19th century. There are several earlier ownership inscriptions, some inked out and some erased. Most notable is that of Guy de Fessigny, who was a doctor of law and served as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court at Chambéry in the Savoy and left the manuscript to his son, Pierre de Fessigny. Despite the large number of decretal manuscripts produced, few substantially complete copies remain in private hands, and few copies have sold at auction in recent years. Ours is an early manuscript created some 200 years before the period of the earliest printed books, and is much earlier than the 15th and 16th century manuscripts typically found on the market. Even more remarkable is the excellent condition and substantially complete state of this manuscript. This is a wonderful opportunity for collectors of manuscripts and early books, or those interested in ecclesiastical and legal history, to own a medieval manuscript that offers a unique pride of ownership. This is the chance to own an original pre-Renaissance work of art.